Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's truly an honour and a privilege to be here this evening and to accept this award. Thank you to Business and Finance and tonight's sponsors for their recognition and for their continued commitment to celebrating the success of Irish professionals all over the world. As anyone here who follows soccer knows by now, at Leicester City we're a club that invariably lets our football do the talking. So I've no shame in admitting that I've a little trepidation in sharing this stage tonight with two remarkably powerful public speakers in His Excellency President Higgins and Sir Bob Geldof. To be honoured on the same night as two of Ireland's modern icons is a truly humbling experience. My congratulations to you both and to all of the other award winners this evening. As Ian mentioned in my introduction, some of my earliest, fondest memories of childhood are of helping out in my father's jewellery shop in Dublin during the school holidays. Probably wouldn't be allowed these days, actually. Never more than odd jobs to earn my pocket money, but perhaps without even knowing, I was learning some of the values that would serve me well in years to come. My 25 years in duty-free retail, which began with Airint International and then laterally King Power, has taken me all over the world, where you quickly discover that the warmth of the Irish has a truly global reach. We're a fortunate nation with many friends, renowned for our conviviality, our sense of humour and our hard work ethic. We're also amongst the world's greatest storytellers. I've never personally professed to be one, but in this last chapter in my career, I've become fortunate enough, at least, to be the teller of a great story. When King Power bought Leicester City in 2010, it was the club recently recovered from its lowest ebb, its only season in the third tier of English football. But looking at the club's rich history, what Leicester means to the community, and the pride in its supporters, we saw promise, we saw possibilities, and we saw potential. It would be wrong to say that 6 years later we could have even dreamt of pulling off the most unlikely title win in English football history at odds of 5,000 to 1. But we believed that we could achieve more than on the pitch and bring success and pride back to the club and back to the city. It was important to us that such success would have a legacy, something that would make a lasting impression of the city of Leicester and beyond. The foundations have taken some time to establish, but have ultimately provided the stability without which I believe lasting success is impossible to achieve. As for achieving that success, it was, as they say, a game of two halves. Firstly, we made sure the facilities, the infrastructure and the right people were in place, and we set about developing a culture of excellence, sticking firmly to our principles of respect, aspiration and rewarding the loyalty and commitment of everyone associated with Leicester City. In that environment, we then developed a hungry, exciting, talented squad that would not only propel the club into the Premier League, but heroically retain its top-flight status before defying all odds to achieve an impossible dream. It's not always been plain sailing, however. The great thing about football is that everyone has an opinion and voices it. But proving doubters wrong has become a feature, I think, a little bit of the club. As with any business decision, a time comes when you have to back your own judgment and the expertise at your disposal. In Claudio Ranieri, we got not only a highly skilled coach, a man manager and motivator, we got an outstanding ambassador for our football club. We turned to a Roman, and predictably enough, he conquered. New hurdles were regularly put before us, and with each hurdle that came, we continued to believe. Not necessarily that we would be champions, the reality of that would dawn sometime later, but to believe in our practices and the basic principles of our approach. From how we treated our supporters on match day to how we treated our players and staff every day. Our faith in our methods and principles was absolute. By taking real care with the detail, the bigger picture would eventually look after itself. Of course, we all have a moment when the bigger picture came into view. Mine was at Sunderland in March last season, when the possibility began to look a little bit like a reality. That afternoon, combined with our final home game of the season, when we were finally presented with the Premier League trophy, was among the days that live forever in my memory. And I'm proud that even on the day of the presentation, traditionally a day of convention and formality, we delivered something unique. We gave away free beers, and we managed to get Andrea Bocelli singing on the pitch for 10 minutes before kick-off. It was unheard of, but that was Leicester City. Like everything else that season, we believed we could make it happen, and it was a belief that made it truly special. Those very Irish qualities I spoke about earlier, their relevance to our story last season was inescapable. The humour and charm that illuminated Claudio's weekly press conferences, the warmth with which our peers spoke of our achievements and practices, the relentless work ethic of our players and staff, and of course the many friends we won along the way. And while there can be no question that hard work earned was what it achieved, few successful teams can get by without a little luck along the way also. Where we go from here remains to be seen. In 2017, our Champions League adventure will continue, while behind the scenes we'll keep building a club whose success is not solely measured by results on the pitch. Our vision for Leicester City is one of long-term sustainable success, but we'll continue to gauge success in a number of different ways. The growth of our supporter base around the world, retaining relevance in and inspiring our own community, sports participation, youth development, commercial performance. Our ambition is to be the best-run club in the English football game and to ensure that football's greatest story has a sustainable legacy. Last season, Leicester City became a club that everyone wants to be part of. Our success is very much a shared success. Leicester has reignited many people's belief and dreams and proves that hard work can bring results and rewards, and that's the kind of success that matters. So just to finish, a word about fairy tales, something we're very familiar with in Ireland. Well, sometimes they do come true. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.